Actually, we are a Troon managed facility. So I actually worked with the team at Troon, the interior designers at Troon, and they're the ones who worked, I believe, directly with Brett, but they had highly recommended your product and recommended I bring it in for my grill room. So they were the ones that actually worked with him. And then I worked directly through Cindy Anderson and her team. 3 years ago now, we did a renovation of our clubhouse. It was right when I was arriving and right when Troon was coming on property. And we have a grill room downstairs. It's primarily used by male golf members, some females, but primarily male members. And the interior design team at the time had chosen a chair for that space that really wasn't appropriate. Very high-end, Italian-made, coming from Italy, really nice chair, but it was not nearly what we needed for a grill room. So a lot of them broke. They were uncomfortable. They weren't the right material for golfers. And so we reached a point that our membership was really not happy with them, and our ownership committed to making the change. And I started to work with Cindy and her team at Troon to look for more appropriate chairs for a grill room that will have mostly gentlemen and golfers coming off the golf course to use. We did, yes. We had 2 or 3 other companies that we either looked at or brought samples in from. Some were really nice, but weren't quite in our price range. Others were going to be as good or bad a quality as the other ones in terms of the durability. And then once yours were introduced to us and they were brought in, we had both the armed chair and the unarmed chair for our members to try out a little bit and sit in. And it was definitely looked to be the most sturdy of the group, was a great price, and had a lot of great feedback from the members. And we made the decision to go with both a grouping of armed ones and then also unarmed, which allowed us some flexibility based on body type and size and what they enjoy sitting in. And both have done quite well for us. Most of that was done through Troon. However, we were given some great options. In fact, the sample chairs that we brought in were not the fabric that we chose, but we were looking at it more for just for shape and for how comfortable they were. So we worked with Cindy and her team to figure out what fabric was best from a gentleman or a lady that's coming off a golf course in the South, if you know what I mean, and to make sure that it was going to have the best longevity for us. And then also the color that matches the room the best, and also our tabletops. We did some comparisons. We took pictures of the tables, sent them in to your team along with the Troon folks. They gave us 3 or 4 options, and then we landed on the one that we chose, which looks great in the space. Yeah, they did a nice job kind of honing in, so we didn't have to spend a lot of time looking through tons and tons of samples. We told them what we needed, what the space looked like. We gave pictures of the walls and the tables, and they said, we think these would work out best for you, any of these, and we made the choice from there. They were always very responsive. And again, the product was delivered in a very timely manner, especially considering what everybody's going through right now. Even the sample came very quickly, and it was even all the way down to the return process was easy. It was an easy process. The price was great for the product and the quality, and the opportunity to work with the team and be able to actually have not a ton of options, but it narrowed down for us so that we didn't have to do a lot of that heavy lifting. Gave us the ability to make a pretty quick choice confidently. And then once the order was placed, again, everything ran very seamlessly right on through to delivery. And the members so far have loved the chairs. They've held up very well, fit the space well, fit the tables really, really well. And we're very, very pleased with that decision that we made. I think the biggest thing, and it's something I wouldn't say I learned necessarily, but just affirmed, is you got to have samples. And we actually had some folks, I think, that wouldn't send us samples, or it was going to take a while. And we liked their chairs a lot, but we just didn't want to take a chance. And we had one sample come in that we really liked, but it was a little narrower profile than we realized. And so I had a couple of male members that I know that are big guys, and I had them sit in those chairs, and they're like, I can't fit in this chair. And so we would not have realized that without bringing that sample in. And even with the chairs we selected, that we had brought both the armed and the unarmed in, we had similar gentlemen, or actually a couple were the same, try both. And they're like, well, I can't really fit in this one great, but I love this one. So I'd probably use the unarmed one. And we had not planned on doing any unarmed. They were going to be all armed chairs. And that gave us the insight to say, why don't we do a mix of them? So I think it's really important when someone's starting this process to work with a company that will be very accommodating with samples, because no matter what it looks like or what it looks like in pictures, until you have, especially in my case, a member club, real people sit in that chair that they're going to have to use it, you really don't know if you're going to make the right choice until you get them all in.